Pavel Macek, Practical Hunkin. I'm here with Daniel Hamby Sifu, my big brother, a very famous guy in the Hunkin circles, one of the gentlemen who is responsible for spreading our art in United States as well as worldwide. And I have finally the honor and chance to meet you. So, Dan Sifu,
hey,
so great to help you, so great to meet you finally. So, how did you become involved with Hunkin?
Just by accident, really. I started back in 1976, so Kung Fu was new.
I was born in 1976, right?
Well, I'm an old man now, as you can see my gray hair now. But my days in Hungar it was wonderful. It started back in 1976. Bruce Lee was very famous then, and watching him kick and do all of these fantastic movements, I wanted to learn those things, and I used to study books, and I had a friend that was showing me karate, but I didn't like that particular style, so I used to look in some of the books, and Hopga and White Crane and those things like that. So one day I just went on a journey to find a school and stumbled upon Kong Silum Pai. Back in 1976.
Kong Pak Sam Sifu,
yes.
One of the pioneers of Hunkin in the West.
Absolutely. And so training under him was torture.
How did it look like, the training? Describe first, let's say 3 months, 6 months, or 3 years. What did the training look like?
Well, I was a bodybuilder first. Okay, so I was around 220 pounds, somewhere along in there, and I thought I was strong. So as I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard, I saw this school, and I looked in there and I thought, that looked like some of the stuff I saw in those books. And so I went in and inquired and joined up, and I found to my consternation that I didn't realize there was so much torturous training there. So I had to sit in these horse stances. My legs were wobbly, but I thought they were strong because I was a bodybuilder, and I realized it wasn't just the muscle strength, So the horse stances and those different stances that I had to do was murder, and it was just a total sweat.
So truly traditional Hunkin training, right? Foundation.
Yes, and trying to do that nowadays is like economic suicide, because back then
today's generations are sissies, right?
Well, I don't want to use a pejorative
okay, I said it.
term like that, but they are a little different than we were. And at that time, your Sifu was a big motivation to you as well. And we looked up to him as something really special, superhuman, And then all of the Kung Fu movies, and I used to see these Shaolin movies, and the first time seeing those things, I said, that looked like some of the stuff I do at the school there. And I wasn't that familiar, with the martial arts. But I tell you, there was something spiritual about this that just captivated me and just made me hunger for more all the time. I never got tired of training.
So you proceeded from the beginner to intermediate to advanced to instructor's level. So
yes.
When did you start to teach?
I started to help my Sifu teach in the school after my 3rd year. And so I trained under his watchful eye for about 6 years. And after like 6 years, I would teach just on Saturdays at the school there. And eventually in 2004, I got my own place in Sherman Oaks, California. I had quite a few students there, did a lot of tournaments and went to a lot of tournaments, competed. One of my best students was Rosa Donato and my son. And she was a grand champion many times. And my son, which I adore, and he trained very hard, and he could hang with it. I'll tell you, that guy was just.
So many videos of you and your sons.
Oh yeah.
I have your instructional videos. I read all the articles that you wrote for Inside Kung Fu.
Thank you.
So
yeah, without my son on those videos, it would be nothing to watch, But my days in coming up inside Kung Fu, I had a friend that introduced me to Dave Cater. And I started doing articles. I wanted to contribute to Kung Fu, and it was a way of life for me, And so I stopped lifting weights like I used to, and I just concentrated on the Kung Fu. And my Sifu used to make me do the Kwando a lot because he wanted me to perform it. And I got tired of doing that. I said, I want to do something else, And
this weapon suits you very well, you know.
Yeah,
big,
that's
strong
what he
guy
thought.
with a big sword, right?
Yeah, then I was interested in fighting because karate at that time was pretty big here. And I used to watch them fight, and I had never seen that before. I used to spar with boxers, you know, down at Hoover Street Gym here in Los Angeles. And that was very rough. But I started training for the tournament. So my first tournament was 1977 at the Olympic Auditorium here in Los Angeles. And I won that, and I fought in Hawaii, the Grand Championship there. That was a disaster because I was kind of young in the fighting, and my Sifu thought I could handle this guy, and I just made one mistake, and that mistake taught me a big lesson, and it made me a better fighter.
You either win or learn,
Yes,
right?
Well, I learned. Never drop your hands, never get excited, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta always keep your cool. And so that drove me to become better and better.
Okay, if I can ask you, we have like many readers and people following our channel, some practical Hunkin. What practical advice would you give, let's say, to a newbie who just started to learn Hunkin, something that he should focus on in his or her training for, you know, in the like building the correct foundation of Hunkin according to your experience?
Yeah, first of all, the practitioner must have an iron will. You know, it cannot be broken. Because when I was practicing those stances, I'm saying, what is this? This is not Kung Fu. This is not the stuff that I saw them do through the window there. I wanted to practice that, but I didn't realize that's a foundation. The foundation is your stances. You got to have good, strong stances. Breath control, okay? You have to practice these stances, these postures every day, as I did, under the watchful eye of my teacher, and I was disciplined enough to do it at home because I was expecting something from it. So I would say the horse stance.
The horse stance.
The horse stances are very important. But nowadays we have to kind of modify those things because if we train people traditionally, they might lose interest. You know? And then you have to have a goal in mind. You know, what do you want with this? You know, whether it's self-defense or you want to help perpetuate the art, or you know, so you got to have your program together, and you got to know where you want to go with it. Some people want to be teachers, some just practitioners. You know, I wanted to be like my Sifu. I wanted to be everything that he was. You know.
What tip would you give to, let's say, to intermediate to advanced students? What they should focus on? You know, they went through the basics, Kunji, Fuhok. Maybe they're learning their something Kyun. Maybe they learn the iron thread in the future. So, what tip would you give to the intermediate to advanced students?
Practice a lot. Practice a lot. Practice all the time. Okay, and focus on your stances. You got to have good stances. Focus on the waist and hip action, and do a lot of calisthenics. You know, to keep your muscles strong, and a lot of stretching and things like that. Hitting the heavy bag, focus mitts, mittens, and those apparatuses to tailor your combat movements, and practice different techniques and different body types, you know, because you're going to need different body types because you never know who you might encounter on the streets.
How would you describe the combat aspects of Hunkin? Like, what has Hunkin to offer in, let's say, modern reality-based self-defense, and what are your favorite techniques?
Well, Hungar is a hard and soft style. It has the hard and the soft blended in there, right? My favorite hands are like the Pao Choi.
Oh yeah, you're the modern day Lam Sai, like big and tall and strong guy. So no wonder like the Soy Long Pao Choi suits you very well.
Yeah, I like those hands, and I like the tiger, and especially I like the crane techniques. So I focus a lot on the 5 animals and the 5 elements, and so I center my techniques around like I play defensive and offensive tactics, and so you have to have so. In other words, when I started training, when I was going to fight in the ring, my Sifu made me practice only defense for 6 months. And so they would throw punches and kicks and whatnot, and I would have to use these different blocks, you know, the Pao Choi hand, the iron bridge, you know, these type of things, the chin chin, and I had to learn how to move. I got to say that training benefited me to the point where no one could get any punch that you threw, a kick or whatever.
And you are also destroying the bridges, right, with your Chin Chi Sao and Pao Chois and stuff.
Yes,
right?
because Lum Jo spoke about that when we went to see him. I think it was 2000, or maybe 1999. He saw one of the tapes where the guys were fighting in the ring. He said, "How come my classmate Fred Lee translated? Why didn't we bang their legs? How come we're not hitting those legs like that with the bridge hands? To break them down." See, yeah. So Hungar is about power, destroying things, but we also can heal things. With the Dao. So yeah, my favorite techniques.
Could you show us some of the techniques? Just just a couple of hands. I'll be your dummy.
Okay. Like for instance, most people on the street, they will probably encounter a guy throwing a right hand. So here I use the fist slice to the sleeve, this type thing, and here. So these hands, we would just go through these drills a lot, and so when you press down to stop this hand, we come under, these types of things, and then you come back up to the face. I also like the reincarnation of the hungry pain, and I use that when people come to left here, and this, and we strike here. And if he pulls back, to block it, and he shoots here, this is here. It's like the crane picks the shrimp. If he should shoot it here, this goes in. And we'll go to that. And this is the hit pressure points. Also, I like the snake, where we smack down and this travels up, attack the throat. They also, when people throw a right hand here, is to trap, to break down. And then you can go with the kick, these type of things.
How about your Soilong Poucho?
Oh, yeah.
I want to feel that.
One time I was playing around with one of my sea guys, and he liked to play, but he played strong. So he threw a right hand and I stepped and bang it, and boom, like this. And I followed straight to the ribs. This will break your ribs, especially when I open you up here. And then we put the kick into your groin. And this Phoenix. We'll go here.
Yeah, for like a big guy and strong dude, you have an excellent footwork. So you are using also your footwork.
Yeah, I practice that a lot.
Which I like a lot.
I practice that a lot. There were techniques like my Sifu would, let's see, I'm just going to stack my knees. And we would do these types of drills. And we would get good at that thing where, you can kind of follow it. And so when you encounter someone coming in at you, these types of things, yeah. See, one technique my Sifu had, he would play with me, he would always go to my midsection like here. When I press there, this hand, he would come, and he would, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
He was just very, very fast with that thing. As soon as you encounter that hand, you pull away and strike it. Another good technique is when people come in here. We call this like the rolling star while working our way up on that. These tiger hands here. It's a tiger claw block. And we grab this strike, and this comes in with the sun punch to his liver. Once you hit the liver, you're gonna drop the guy.
Oh, I got the hit with the liver one. You don't want to lay for
I
like
know.
5
It
minutes,
is a
right?
painful blow there. And that's why, like in the Gunji, when we come here and this strike here, that short strike, is to explode that inner organ there. So, as you know, with the Kyun, we use that to work our inner organs to keep them healthy, so that they function well. That's one of the great benefits that's unique with Hong Kong.
So we have both strength, but we also have the health and longevity.
That's
right?
why I said we can also heal.
Yeah. That's why Don Sifu is looking so young.
Come on. I told him that was from eating collard greens. This guy here is a legend. I've always wanted to meet him.
I'm just a fan.
No problem. You have done so much for Hong Kong. We really appreciate you. Going on your site and you're sharing all this good information that most people will keep to themselves, hold to themselves. You're a truly altruistic person.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your compliments, brother.
No, you're a good person, and you share, and it's just my pleasure to meet you. I'm so glad that you come down.
Okay. where the potential students find you, Don? Like if they want to learn from you, and if you are in a LA area, you should, guys.
Yeah. Well, you can reach me at my website, kondoman.com. I'm sorry, kondoman.net, or my email, hamby111@earthlink.net.
We'll put it into the video, the link, so you can guys follow up with Don Sifu and learn from him his extraordinary skills.
You're too kind.
Okay, hopefully meet you next time.
Thank you, Paul. You have a safe trip home. Huh?
Thank you, sir.
All right, my pleasure.